It's dawn in Puerto Rico. A city as ancient as Columbus is stirring with the promise of a new day. San Juan, such a special city, founded 5 centuries ago by the fabled conquistadores. Here, every balcony, every cobblestone street, every plazuela echoes the footfall of romance and history. So precious is old San Juan, its entire 7 square blocks of narrow, winding streets and exquisitely restored buildings have been set aside as a National Historic District. And no fewer than 6 of old San Juan's historic monuments have been deemed worthy of the designation World Heritage Site by the United Nations. This great walled city's first governor was the legendary Juan Ponce de Leon. Time and again, in the centuries since, the city and its massive fortresses have proudly repelled invaders, from Sir Francis Drake to Sir Walter Raleigh. Our 20th century governors live and work here, in the stately mansion La Fortaleza, the oldest executive mansion in continuous use in the Western world. Today, we welcome you with 2 flags, the Star-Spangled Standard of the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico and the U.S. Stars and Stripes. What they proudly stand for is not just pearly beaches and golden tropical sun, but a model of peace, progress, and prosperity in the Caribbean. The highest standard of living and the most steadfast democracy in all of Latin America. Here, in the cultural cradle of the Caribbean, the arts have flourished for centuries. When you think of Puerto Rico, think of a festival of the arts that lasts 365 glorious days a year, a living celebration both of modern masters and of timeless classics. One of the many symbols of the modern-day success story called Puerto Rico can be viewed here, where the ancient cobblestone streets of old San Juan meet San Juan Harbor. In the shadow of El Morro, the mighty fortress built by the conquistadores to ward off hostile armadas, is a port that today welcomes ships, cruise ships. San Juan is by far the busiest cruise ship port in the Caribbean and the 2nd largest home port in the Western Hemisphere. The old and the new. In just a few minutes, you can travel through 5 centuries to the dazzling city of New San Juan, the most vibrant metropolis in the Caribbean. With its majestic high-rise hotels rimming an expanse of pristine beach, this is my Riviera, my Rio. So far yet so near. This is the most accessible island in the Caribbean, with more than 50 flights a day from the US and Europe landing at San Juan's newly renovated state-of-the-art hub. Here, all the modern conveniences are yours, and none of the hassles. U.S. citizens can leave their passports at home, but don't forget your driver's license. Once here, you can choose from dozens of international resorts with bustling casinos, exquisite restaurants, and discos that rock through the night. By day, pull up a pina colada, front row seat by the pool, and let your imagination run free. Paradise. It's called Puerto Rico. I know a kaleidoscopic reef where the coral comes in every color of the rainbow and then some. Where the tropical fish, hundreds of species of fish, give you the warmest welcome in the Caribbean. I know a place where the catch of the day is the catch of a lifetime. I know fabled fairways and tennis aces. I know secret coves where the only footprints are your own, where you can come, bring a picnic, hoist a sail, and throw your cares to the wind. I know a place where you can ride into a tropical sunset and imagine the evening to come. My favorite city in the world, Old San Juan. Magic. As the rhythms echo through the night, you can feel it. You can savor it with every new taste. You can marvel at it. You can hear it in the air. By the light of the tropical moon, you can fall in love with it. And when the night is over, you'll remember it forever. When the sun comes up, it shines on hundreds of miles of coastline, where you'll find the largest, most up-to-the-minute marina in the Caribbean, a luxury resort for 750 lucky yachts. The lush mountainous interior of Puerto Rico is a place we call out on the island, and you'll call out of this world. There are 3 tropical rainforests, including the legendary El Yunque. Bask in a thundering waterfall, breathe the perfume of wild orchids, and take in a jungle philharmonic led by coquis, our singing tree frogs. Puerto Rico has its own colorful history of ancient cultures. You can explore Indian petroglyphs dating from centuries before Columbus. Dating from hundreds of centuries before Columbus, before civilization, is the Rio Camuy Cave Park, a subterranean wonderland where you can take a guided tour through the mysteries of the ancients. Here, the world's 3rd longest underground river weaves among giant stalagmites and stalactites through one of the most spectacular cave systems on Earth. from the center of the earth to the top of the world. I know a tiny mountain village where you can happen onto a graceful hacienda that time forgot. A working coffee plantation, painstakingly restored by the island's Conservation Trust to show you the state of the art in coffee making from the 1800s. Here, life turns to the gentle rhythms of another century. Water flows by aqueduct from the surrounding mountainside to the hacienda. There, it's fed to a giant water wheel and converted 19th century style into hydraulic energy. Energy enough to power the plantation's authentically restored coffee-making machinery. Finally, the beans, prized through the ages by princes and popes alike, are specially roasted, and visitors can savor a cup from yesterday's harvest. If you want to get away from it all and stay for a song, you can choose to stay in one of the island's many paradores, our country inns. They're tucked away in rustic seaside towns and ancient mountain villages. In the southwest corner of the island, I knew a place where you can really get away from it all. I know places no one knows. Streets lit by antique lamps. Sidewalks trimmed with pink marble. We're in Ponce, the island's second city. Here you'll find the world-class Museo de Arte, where works by Rubens, Gainsborough, and Van Dyck are displayed alongside those of Puerto Rico's own masters. Nearby is a town that itself qualifies as a work of art, San Germán, settled in the year 1606. And along Puerto Rico's 272 miles of magnificent beachfront, you'll find quaint fishing villages at every turn. Puerto Rico, from the beaches to the mountains, from the cities to the sports, there's so much to see and do. But sometimes my favorite sport is doing nothing at all.